This is important today because we're very close now to what we might as well call our performance that we're going to put on in a week's time. I don't want anybody to be under any sort of misconceptions or feel at all confused about how important really this is for you, because it's one thing to write a poem and share it with us in the group, in the classroom, but it's altogether different, a bit scarier, more of a kind of public thing to do it in front of everybody else. That's the bad news. The good news is that it's the most wonderful chance for you to prove what you've been doing. So part of today I want to take the chance to think about how we're going to get ready for next time, which will be our last time together. And partly I want to talk to you about a particular thing, which is going to be tone of voice. Has anybody been writing stuff since I saw you last, which I think was last Thursday? Good. I know you've written something fantastic. And perhaps, have you got it? You have. Tremendous. Very good. I thought today we might, as I say, talk about voice a bit. Now, what do you understand when I say voice? What does voice mean to you? I mean, of course, tone, exactly. So think of some tones. Perhaps I can. Well, there's sort of. Well, if we put under tone.
All different types of tones you have.
If under tone we put deep, high, etc. I mean, everybody knows what that means.
And basically like the range in which you go through, like the different words.
And the range, exactly. Harlem, when I say voice to you, what does it mean to you? I'm thinking of things.
So for singing.
That would be very good. That would be very good.
Acting.
Yes. Now you're getting into the area that I was thinking about. I was thinking that sometimes we put on a funny tone of voice. Sometimes we put on a very serious tone of voice. Sometimes you all know what irony is, don't you?
Yeah,
it's basically
ironic.
pulling somebody's leg. Put it politely. Say something ironic.
I love crows.
Very good, because really you hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, very good. It's very often the opposite of what you mean, isn't it? And you say it in such a way that everybody knows, that everybody understands that. So there's irony and ironic tone of voice. What would a heroic tone of voice be, for instance? You'll see a poem in front of you called Lycidas. This poem called Lycidas is an elegy. Does anybody know what an elegy is?
That's
An elegy is a poem that you write for somebody after they've died or been killed. So that's what an elegy is. It's an elegy that John Milton wrote.
After funerals.
Exactly. It's an elegy that John Milton wrote for a friend of his in the early-ish 1600s, so a long time ago. And I just want you to take it away and read it. And it has a sort of heroic, classical aspect to it, as you'll immediately see when you're reading it. Now, the other little bit of poem that I've put in front of you is, in fact, only the beginning of an also quite long poem. And it's called, as you can see, The Owl and the Pussycat. Has anybody heard of this poem before?
Yeah, I've heard.
Good.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, you remember this poem? Good. The Owl and the Pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat.
Why is this? Oh, I know this one.
They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a £5 note. Now, I want to try a little experiment with you. I want you to imagine that you have to introduce yourself to somebody who's never met you before. And I want you to do it in 2, or if you can, 3 different ways, all right? I want you to do it in 2 or 3 different voices, very short, just 2 or 3 lines each. And I want you to use exactly the same information, your name, your age, whatever you decide that it is that you want to tell them. But I want you to do it in 2 or 3 different ways, in 2 or 3 different voices, in fact. All right? Using some of those voices there. Not just sort of deep, high voice, but funny voice, nonsensical voice, accented voice, comic voice, tragic voice, any other kind of way of speaking that you can think of that I might not have thought of myself. The reason I gave you The Owl and the Pussycat to look at is because it's got language in it that in the ordinary sense of things does not make sense. Now, if you wanted to write something in a way which in the ordinary run of things does not make sense, you're very welcome to do that. And of course there will be a bit of talking to each other, but please keep the volume level down. Okay? Good luck.
Well, just have a read over that.
Oh, very good. Very good. Is she still alive, your granny? You've never met her. So this is somebody that you're sort of writing. Yeah, your dad's mum, who died before you were born. Well, it's an elegy, isn't it? Yeah, it's an elegy. Did you just write it now? Good for you. Amazing. I mean, the poems that you showed me the other day was fantastic as well. But what you're very good at is finding very short ways into very serious subjects. And you have an absolutely sort of natural talent, it seems to me, for slightly elevated language. Because it's not as though we all go around talking about angels and this, but it completely belongs here. And sky high, goodbye. So you've got 3 little rhymes going there to hold the thing together. And you've made an interesting choice of saying something about quickness in a slightly different way, brief and brisk. I mean, they sort of mean sort of the same thing, but you get that variety going in the poem, so it's a very good piece of work.
Trying to kind of rebound each other to show that it was very brief.
Yes.
It might not have been there, but in a way and in a sense it was there.
That's right, that's right. Well, I hope that you'll write some more, which
It's something I'd definitely like to go
you
into.
might want to read out in a week's time. I hope you will do that.
It's something I'd like to go into, like start writing more.
Yes, good. Well, I hope you will. I mean, I think you've got something. I think you have a gift for it.
I'd rather write something like this in music
Yes,
than really.
yeah, exactly. Wouldn't that be great?
I'd like to do something like
Good, good. Well, read lots. Read that anthology I gave you the other day, and you'll find that almost every poem you read gives you an idea about how to do something. I mean, you read for pleasure, but you also read to learn things, don't
Yeah,
you?
does a poem doesn't have to rhyme, does it? As long as the words
Yes.
fit close and connect to one another and keep it compact.
Exactly.
Still, it
That,
is a poem.
essentially, that's it. Yes. No, that would be that's a very good place to start. I think. Keep it compressed, keep it intense. Very good. Yeah, well done. Very good. You do need a pen.
Yeah, I really can't write poems.
No, I know you say that, and it's very, and I want to try and help you. So let's try and have a few minutes together. Let's say the lesson, okay? Very good. Just do it one way. Write down who you think you are introducing yourself to. Somebody for the first time. Very good. Very good. I mean, you've got a natural ear. I mean, the rhythm here is
Yeah, you
going to hook you in.
get it.
Absolutely. It's nice and straightforward, which I like. And I think what would be very interesting now would be to reveal the same information in a different way, or say something as close as you can get to it in a different way.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was thinking of.
I mean, it's,
But who am I meant to introduce? Who am I going to talk about?
I think you're really trying to introduce yourself to somebody. I mean, pretend it's Harlem. You've never met her before. And you've just sat down, you're in a railway carriage, you're sitting there for the first time, you've got half an hour in the same carriage,
Change it.
and you want her to know what's important to you. What's importantly, the things that make you the person you are. There are 2 decisions, really. What pieces of information might those be? I mean, what matters to you, in other words? These are the things I believe in, these are the things I care about, these are the things that make me tick. And then you've got to choose a way in which to say it to her so that she's going to listen to it. Because we know, don't we, that with the people we meet, that if people talk to you in a way that is aggressive or frightening or whatever it might be, our ears stop working and we can't hear what they're trying to tell us.
My name's Emily, and I like penguins a lot. I find them interesting.
Intriguing.
Intriguing. And my main ambition is to be an actor,
then you've got to
and I don't want to move to Italy. That's not even a friggin' poem.
What are you doing?
I don't know if that's a poem. I tried my best, like literally.
Well, yeah. It's
It's my personality.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that's very good. And I think it's very interesting the way you've brought in that phrase from somewhere else. So you're making a little kind of collage of phrases, aren't you, as you do that? It needs another verse. Write another verse in which you talk about liking something else.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah. Oh, you went to Elizabeth Arsenal, did you? How was that?
Do you know it?
Yeah. Yes,
EGA.
I used to have a friend who went there. But my lantern lit up when I moved school again, meaning that was better. I live near a park called Wilmington. Where is that?
It's
It's near Angel. Angel Station.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I live my life.
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. Which number are you?
Middle.
Middle.
Shopping in.
I have many more, but they're scattered. They linger. Very good. I have a friend called Jamie. Jamie?
Jamal.
Very good. Is that his name?
No, that's what I call it.
Very good, okay. And a
I'm
friend
in your
called Emmy?
poem.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. They're so energetic, but they're so lazy. I think that about sums it up.
I couldn't think of anything that rhymes with Emmy. But lazy.
Semi.
Well, that's a very interesting... Sunny rhymes with Emmy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
semi.
Well, it nearly does, doesn't it? It's a kind of off rhyme.
And semi.
Yes. Semi is a much closer rhyme.
Yeah. Emmy with her semi-permanent hair.
When you walk past him,
Write down
you
what
know
you
the
just said. Tell me more stuff about things that you're interested in and
Emmy with her semi-permanent.
hobbies, you mean?
hobbies, colours, food, what you do in downtime.
So shall I write that here then?
Yeah, who you like, why you like them. I mean, I don't mean friends in the room, I mean
That general.
like general. Exactly. Okay. Very good, but well done. How are you doing over here in the quiet corner? I'm Danielle.
I've done it just like...
No, sorry. I grew up in South East London. With graffiti on the walls. Very good, very good. And where policemen patrol the streets. I'm 18 years old. Do you think you did not succeed in school?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I didn't get any GCSE for nothing.
Well, it's not too late.
Yeah, no, that's what I talk about now.
It was a big school with over 100 rooms. Where was the school?
It was in South East London. It was a big school.
Right. Have you got brothers and sisters? Did they go to the same school?
Went to a worse one.
So
My
again?
they've all gone to sort of the same schools as me, but not my one. I went to a little girls' school.
Right.
And I said it was filled with ambition, but I meant like, do you know, like all the different classes, like science, maths, and not...
Yes. This is very interesting as an example of how you might. I mean, it tells you me a lot about you, actually. I think it's a very courageous thing to do. And it's not, it hasn't made it quite into being a poem, I don't think, because the language, but that doesn't, I mean, I'm less worried about that really today. Because the most important thing is for you to feel that you've got stuff inside you that's worth writing down. And this is the proof that you have. So I think the thing for you to do over the next week is
Like research some poems.
have a look at that book I gave you the other day. Have a look at some poems in it and just work out what their pattern is and how they work. And write one in the same sort of style as one that particularly strikes you.
Okay.
Okay? And don't worry too much about the formality of it or not. Say what you feel and you won't go far wrong. Okay? Well done. Very good.
Thank you.
There's no point, I can't write poems.
No, well, it's all right. I'm not going to bully you about it. I just wanted to know why you thought that was. But there's a reason for everything.
I can't write poems.
Why do you think that is for you?
I'm just not a poetic person.
But look at you, you obviously are. I mean, you're covered in visual poems. Well, you've got your headband on and your bracelets and your rings and everything.
Yeah, I express it through my... I can't write down a poem.
What about
I
stories?
like listening to poems.
Yeah.
I don't mind listening to poems or stories,
Yeah.
but I can't write them myself.
Was it always like this, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not very... I like it. If I listen to a poem, I'll be fine. But if I write something, I can't write it. Yeah, I tried. I wrote like my name's Chloe like twice.
I don't know there's anything... Well, why don't you do what we were talking about doing today as a piece of prose and just write out something about yourself in as kind of stylish a way as you can? Because stylishness obviously matters to you.
I knew she was going to write it. See,
And see where that gets you.
Okay, I'll try.
Don't worry about it being a poem, and the same thing
promise.
applies to you. No, it's okay. Well, you never know whether it's going to work or not. That's part of the kind of adventure of it, I think. Say to yourself, between now and when I see you in a week's time, you're going to write me 10 lines, doesn't matter if it isn't a poem, about you and what really matters to you.
All right, I'll write it down in my book.
In other words, who you think you really, really are.
All right, well, I'll try.
Fantastic. This is an absolutely kind of record-breaking day for you, isn't it? Because you've never done anything like this before.
I know.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well done. I'm very proud of you. Well done. I mean, what you've done is interesting because it actually sounds a bit like the lyrics of a song too, doesn't it? Because you can imagine somebody singing that. I mean, and the shape of it allows this to happen.
I didn't know what to write about.
Well, write about what you care about. And what do you care about?
My mum.
Your mum. Write a poem about your mum.
How do you start them off though? I can't start this kind of stuff.
Well, I've never met your mum. When you go home
Yeah?
and start writing this thing, say, I'm going to tell Andrew about my mum. This is what she looks like. Well, you can start with her name. This is what she looks like. This is what she does like. I mean, the things that she enjoys and believes in and so on. Make her as real to me as possible. Put her in her favourite chair. Put her favourite drink in her hand. Put on her a piece of clothing that she really likes to wear. I mean, if there's a skirt she especially likes wearing or necklace she especially likes wearing or... and just stay with stuff, physical stuff. That's what poetry really likes dealing with. Make her real to me.
And then bring it in next lesson.
Yeah, and then if she comes on next Monday, you can read it to her. That would be a good thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write
Is that a
it.
good idea?
Yeah.
And
I'm
why
going to
don't
write
we-
on the tube pad.
Yes, very good. We've just got a couple of minutes. Does anybody want to read aloud the poem they've written? Do you want to read out anything of yours?
You can read mine,
Can I? Okay. Okay, so Jamal's going to read out something that you wrote with Emmy, is that right?
No, I just wrote about Amy.
It's about Emmy?
Yeah.
Okay, well, try me.
Amy with her semi-permanent extensions, always trying to buy extensions with her grandma's pension.
Well, it's the kind of beginning of a rap, isn't it? Isn't that the
But
idea?
I did that.
Yeah, very good. It feels like the beginning of something. Perhaps during the next week you can take it on a bit. This is Ronnie's poem.
Who's reading it?
Henry, grab my name.
Are you reading it?
I'm going to read it, yes. And it's a poem that Ronnie's written about his grandma. And it goes like this. As I fall to my knees and look into the night sky, I watch you float like an angel soaring so high, a brief hello, a brisk goodbye. A meeting that never was here, but still a sense that you are very near. Not only in mind, but heart as well. Your love was bottomless, just like a wishing well. Our feelings mutual, our feelings strong. You're my grandma, I care for you. I'm going to be around for so very long. A dream we'll both pursue. Just always, I love you. Remember that. Now, this is a very interesting... Very well done. Well done. And what you understand from that...
Motion, not competition.
I know. And what you understand from that is that Ronnie never met his grandma, but still feels very fond of her. No, because she died before he was born. It's a very good example of almost the first thing that we said to each other about how strong poetry allows strong feeling to happen, isn't it? And I think it's an extremely impressive piece of work. So, let's spend the next week finishing off the things that we have started now, or starting new things if we haven't done anything. Charlotte's had a very good day because she's written her first poem ever. Fantastic. Anyway, very good lesson. Terrific. Very nice to see you. Thank you very much.
I'll read you. Yeah? I don't know you, you don't know me. We met the first time in poetry. You state your name, I state mine too. I hope Andrew will introduce me to you. My name is Jay Bennett, now say yours too, before I lose all my interest in you. They call me H-Dot, but my real name is Harlan. I know Bear Man from Finsbury Park up to Harlesden. I get in some fights, and that I get in some fights, and that I do. I only roll with my friends that are true. You talk a lot, and that is true. No wonder you get in fights, because I'm sick of you.
Very good. Well, did she recognise it?
Huh?
Did she recognise it?
Yeah,
Did you feel it was
I
true?
told
Very
her.
good. Very good. Very good.
What do you
Well, that's 2 poems in 2 days.
I done another one as well.
Terrific.
You said to do one on family, innit?
Yeah,
But I didn't do a
yeah,
lot. It was a
yeah,
quick one.
yeah.
I just done
Yeah,
it
no, no,
briefly, right? Close to her, close to me, sharing her time evenly. Combos at night, jokes in the day, leaving one another to discuss our day. Collectively we stand, collectively we are. We stand united, whether together or afar. That's it.
Very sweet. Very good. Actually, that's the best of them. Fantastic. Who's that about?
It was just, you said to do one about like family,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
So I was gonna do one like that.
Yes, but it's your mum or dad or...
Mum.
It's about your mum. Very good. Well, have you showed it to her?
No, I just wrote it.
Well done.
Took like
That
5
is-
minutes.
That is the best of them. Write it out and give it to her. She'll be so pleased. And maybe read it next week. Bring her along and read it so that you can
No,
hear
I'll
it.
think about it.
Think about it. But it would be very good to do that.
All right, Governor. See
Well
you
done.
later, Governor.
Well done. Was that all right to read it out?
Yeah,
You happy about that?
Yeah, I prefer you read
Yeah.
it out because you more of
But
a
you've really got
subtle
something, I
voice
think. Well, I don't know about that.
to read it out rather than myself.
Well, it's,
I'm kind of one tone.
but just practice it a bit. Truly, practice it a bit.
Yeah.
Because it would be really great if you could read something next week. I'd particularly like you to.
I'd like to read this one.
Yes, do.
Just
See what turns up during the week as well, because I bet you write other poems during the week.
maybe tend to when I'm at home.
Yeah.
More, more about the
Yeah.
people I love and care about the most.
Exactly. Well,
Which
that's
is what I
when
put most thought and feeling into.
Absolutely. That's very much my feeling as well.
I'd like to maybe sit down with you sometime
Yes.
and just.
Why don't I come in early on Monday and we can...
Yeah, and just have
do
like
that?
a chat.
I'd love that.
Because I'd like to, like you said, like to see into this and
Yeah.
try and make some of it.
Absolutely. Well, you've got something
It's something I'd like to work on.
very good. I'm thrilled to hear it. Excellent.
It's your doing, so it's made me realise it. Like,
That's wonderful to hear.
Thank you.
Really. Bless
thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you. We'll
Take
look
care
after
of
yourself.
yourself. And
Yeah. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Andrew Hicksborough.
Mustn't cry on camera. I mean, it was so wonderful to hear him say that.